What does transformation healing mean to you? What challenging have you overcome in your life that transformed who you are today? Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. Welcome our Transformation Healing podcast. I'm your host, Riya Wang, a certified transformation healing coach, a spiritual mentor. I have traveled around the world to learn and share how healing can change in our lives. In this podcast show, I have invited my friends, my guests from all over the world to share the inspirational stories, wisdom, even the knowledge that can help you to implement those wonderful tools into your daily life. I'm very excited. I have a special guest today. It's Lisa. Lisa is aesthetic practitioner turned into the functional medical practitioner. She created a signature program called the Energy Code for the busy people who optimize their energy and improve their performance, improve their quality of life. I'm so excited. Welcome to our podcast, Lisa.
Thank you, Riya, and thank you for inviting me here. I'm so excited to meet you I'm so honored to be here today.
Oh, so sweet of you. So Lisa, tell us where you are, where you come from. I know you're in the special time. I'm in California, So where are you?
Yeah, so we have a very different time zone. So I'm in Jakarta, Indonesia, and it's 1 a.m. right now. So, but I'm getting used to this. Although, yeah, I'm in Jakarta, Indonesia, and I do most of my practice, everything's online. So I'm happy to do so because I get to meet people like you and people around the world that I won't be meeting if I stay just doing offline practice. So that's one of the big habits.
Wow, thank you so much. It's 1 a.m. where you are now. So thank you for coming to take your time. This time a lot of people are already in your dream and you are still here on the air with us to talk about the transformation healing. So tell us a little bit about how do you overcome with your challenging that defined who you are today. Like we talk about, you was the practitioner of doing the beauty things. Now you become functional medical, study functional medical and create your own program. What is the big challenge you've been go through?
I think the biggest challenge was finding my own purpose. And I think it was started back at 2012, where it was started when one of my uncle, my beloved uncle, died. For me, it was like sudden because and the most challenging part about it was I'm a medical doctor, and up until his last moment, there was no definitive diagnosis, which then create like a turbulence inside me. And at that moment, I was still like practicing aesthetic medicines, I was practicing hair transplantations, and I was kind of feeling useless. So it's just like it just opened my eyes big time. And it was like my wake up call. Like, I want to do something more than this. I want to, I don't want to just get someone's help, ask for someone's help. I want to be the help that someone's need later on. And I want to be able to do something, not only for my family, but also for other people. And I don't think at that moment, I know that aesthetic medicine wasn't going to be enough for me. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. That was sometimes, when your family member pass away and didn't know what's going on, it's shocking, right?
Yeah,
Really confusing, shocking. So that changing you want to do something better to help more people. That
yeah.
is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
We talk about no matter what you do, so the sense, if you feel the passion, then you find your purpose, that your life have more meanings for yourself.
Exactly.
Don't say
Exactly.
everybody have to find your purpose. No matter what
Exactly.
you do, like say, if that brought your passion, brought your joy, that just follow your heart. So tell
Exactly.
us, so you said the purpose, find your purpose. That is to become what you do today. Is that your purpose?
Okay, so it's not as easy as it seems and it sounds. We know that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like since then it was not, it was just getting harder. So it was just the start. And yeah, I tried anti-aging medicines. I got to a master degree with, I took master degree for like almost 2 years and finished them. And then I learned about functional medicines. And I think since learning functional medicines, it was then you can say like fall back in love with medicines, like because there was like just this like I hate medicine. Like there was that kind of moment where the reality is not as good as you wish it to be when you really do the practice. Like I think some doctors may experience that, and like practitioners will know what I meant with by saying that. But
Yeah, we talk about the medicine. Is we say what type of medicine. Then you can say medicine is natural medicine, or you can say that is the drugs. I think that is really depends how do you explain what is that for. But some we do need some medicine to heal ourselves, right?
exactly, and within the functional medicines, it's what I like is that it applies not only the supplementations, but also the lifestyle changes, which many people and practitioners neglect, like, and within the lifestyle, it's not just about, yes, the nutrition, yes, the exercise, but also, yes, the mind, like, the stress, the everything, like the anxieties, things like that. And combining everything really really helps me to see like, okay, so there's so many other ways to heal the body. And after that I learned more and more about other ways of therapy that can help us in better our health. So it's not yeah, including the self-love journey, which I experienced back on last September, which is huge because right then I mean, not until I think that not until we really get to know ourselves that we can tell what our purpose is. Like,
Yes.
yes, at some moment, yes, I know I really like functional medicine, but I just don't really know if this is the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life. Like is this it? Like, and then you should try to ask again and again. And not until I know who I am and, doing the shadow work, things like that, that you can really tell, okay, you know what? Yes, this is my purpose. This is me. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is what I wake up to, like, that kind of moment.
Yeah, I wanted to say, everybody say, I don't know how to, not everybody, I want to say some people will be asked, so how do I find my purpose? I don't know what is my purpose. I think just like you just said that, ask your questions. Continue ask yourself the question when you ask the answer. Is that answer still confusing, or is the answer brought your heartbeat, make you excited, you feel so much joy? That probably you follow with that, you may find your purpose. And
Yeah.
sometimes the purpose can be just easy. You can just relaxing. You like plant the plants on your yard. I think cannot be always big. Can be big or small. It's the quality of the life how to bring the joy to you, right? So we talk about the self-love, Lisa. Everybody, we talk about the self-love. I wanted to ask you, what does self-love meaning to you? What do you do that create more love to yourself? I know we talk about the self-love. It's not just, oh, I want to eat a hamburger. I go get the hamburger. Not something treat yourself then nicely. It's something it's more deeper than
Yeah.
can help you grow.
Yeah.
So what is the self-love things you do help you to grow?
Okay, first of all, I was a people pleaser, honestly. So I create a burden that I shouldn't have to. I don't really put myself on top of my own priority. So, and at first it seems that, okay, so all I need to do is just put myself on top of my priority. But I think it's not, I think it's not until you realize what lies beneath that. You know, when you do the shadow works, then you get to see what is your traumatic experience. Like traumatic experiences doesn't have to be like physical abuse, but it can be like how you brought up in your teenager years. You know, like it can be I don't know, bullying, like yeah, it can be like you've never been validated, your feelings has never been validated by your parents. It can be as simple as that, but unknowingly that creates so many things that we try to push down, and then when we need to do the shadow work to gain that. And I think the biggest thing is that for me at that moment was not about making myself the priority, but actually have to forgive the past, how to forgive the people who hurt me, and eventually have to forgive myself for letting them to do that. Like, I think the biggest one is how to forgive myself, because unknowingly we can, it's easy to point out, what, those people hurt me, but then we let ourselves like drown in the hurts and in the hated, and it it it's it it's eating us alive, and we let that happen. So yeah, the
Mm.
biggest part was actually forgiving myself.
Thank you for sharing, Lisa. I think from what you talk about that we say self-love is you have to have boundaries. It's not just
Exactly.
please people. And also forgiveness. Forgiveness is easy to forgive others, but how to forgive yourself and not just keep brought up back then feeling be hurt,
Yes,
right? Here
exactly.
is a question for you, Lisa. Do you think everybody in this world experience the trauma? Is there anybody will be said, I never had a trauma?
Yes, I think even if as I mean the degrees can be different, can be varies, and the types of trauma can be varies, but because I think trauma has so many different spectrums, right? It's not only physical trauma, but it's also emotional, social trauma. So yeah, I think everyone can have those trauma. It's just a matter of whether they realize it or not.
Mm, yes. I remember once I was one of people when I was in the networking, then he asked me, transformation healing. So what does it mean? I don't need a healing. I'm fine. I'm happy with my life. So if that person asks you, what you will be answer to them? Do you think everybody needs a healing?
I'm not going to not validate their feeling for sure. Like if they feel like they're happy with their life, I'm so happy for them. But all I can say for them is that sometimes we see happiness as laughter. So yeah, so sometimes the meaning of the happiness itself is unclear or biased for some people. And sometimes it's kind of shallow, and not until some bigger things took place, then they realize that there was no happiness at all. So yes, and that is going to be a very big wake-up call. So, but sometimes so many people will need that kind of wake-up call before they go to you or to me or to other people, like for help. And I think our job is to like hold space for them, and then just be friends with them and take them as they are, because probably that is not their moment. Yeah.
We said really the healing is who you are, start seeking. When you start seeking, start looking, that moment you have awareness that you know you need a change. If you are, like we said, if you're not seeking, you don't aware, you think you are fine, no matter how much we are come and say, oh, here maybe it's good for you, but that doesn't work that way, right? So I'm really enjoy you been talking about the trauma is from different, not just physical, sometimes little things maybe affect you when you was young age, teenager or young age, but you didn't know. Then the self-love is not just please other people. Also, it's not buy the hamburger to yourself to eat. It's the way how to make yourself grow,
Yeah,
how
it's
to take
messy.
care inner self, right? So something make you feel stronger, better. That is the self-love. And I remember when we talk about the talk about the trauma. When I was teenager, one year my mom was not happy with me, so she wouldn't talk me for 3 months. 3 months, that when I was that age, I didn't know that it's trauma until after that. That really affected my life when I grew up. When I started angry or not feel good, I wouldn't talk. That started the silent retreat. That really is unhealthy, you know. So that is talk about the trauma. I think many people experienced. So what is the big trauma you experienced in your life? And how do you get out with that? Maybe this is a little tough question.
I think I have several big moments that I don't know which one to choose. But all I know is that I'm quite religious. I'm quite religious. So and then usually when something just feels stuck, I surrender. Like all I know is that I've done my best. I've tried my best, but I need to know that I do my best, right? I do my best first, and then I try my best first, and then I've done my best. I tried my best. So now let's I give it to you. Like, yeah, I give it in God's hands.
You
So
just believe with your faith, right?
Yeah. So I think that helps me throughout most of the major moments, major changes. I have several of those actually, but I think we as humans needs that kind of, letting go of control. And yeah, because we can control what we speak of, we can control what we do, but we cannot control others. We cannot control what happens tomorrow. There are so many things that is out of our control, and trying to control them it's like trying to pleasing people. It's nothing good will come out of it. So don't try to control.
Yes, I think let go is you can change in something internal, then you cannot change in something like far
Yeah,
away that you cannot control. That
yeah.
is good way to think. We said that the tips when I was learning is tips. You write down 10 things you can control, 10 things out you control. Then to compare them together, then to release that you cannot control. Just take one and two. Like sometimes when you are in the emotional stage, you probably cannot control what happened already, but you
Mhm.
can control your emotions by
Yes,
meditating, right? By to thinking about take a quiet space,
mhm.
connect, identified with that emotions, that things can shift the
Yeah,
situation.
exactly,
Like you said, you can control what you can, then leave out something you cannot.
exactly.
That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah. So tell us a little bit, as you say, you read 2 books. I want
Ah,
to
yeah.
know, share with a little bit with our audience. What's the book? Do you able to say what is the name of your 2 book? Oh,
Okay. So I've launched the first one, which is actually a passion project. So last December, like I told you before, I just have this like a big moment where I do the shadow work, the self-love on myself. And so being inspired by that, I just want to read poems actually. But at the end of the books, I thought to myself, like, okay, so if it's, I don't want it to be only poetry book. I don't want it only contain quotes of my thoughts. I want it to be beneficial to those who uh, finally buy and read them. So I try to put the self-love steps into the book, and it was launched last July. The title is Coming Home to Myself by me, Lisa Silvani.
I like
And
the name. Hold on, you said the name is Come Home by Myself.
coming home to myself, yeah. So,
Or Come
um,
Home to Myself.
yeah,
That's wow. Just hear that name, I feel like my heart warm.
thank you. So that is, I don't really expect, I don't know what to expect from the book, but I do enjoy writing it. I do enjoy writing it. I do enjoy, you know, choosing the cover for the just because when you're trying to do like passion projects, it's just like how much can you give into the projects from yourself, and so that's
Mhm.
what I'm trying to do with the books. The second one, however, is not launched yet. So I need it's not launched, and it's going to be about the functional medicines, and the connections between energy. So when I said energy, I think we uh, we talk about energy in different ways. Yes, I talk energy about the ATP, which is the energy currency inside the body created by mitochondria, and how it connects with the chronic diseases, with the gut, with the brains, with the immune system. So I hope it can explain a little bit to audience, to the readers about the energy itself, because when we approach chronic disease, most people will think that, okay, so what drugs should I use, what therapy should I do, and not so many people think about their energy reserve. But without those energy reserve, the body, the system, our metabolism system cannot heal. So that's,
Mm.
yeah, so that is the
Wow,
main.
that's fascinating. I can't wait to read your book.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to here to have this podcast with us and brought your stories and your knowledge. We can't wait
Thank
about your
you.
second book come out. Then
Yeah.
before we close this, time passed by so fast. Before we close this, tell us where then people can find you? What is best way they can connect with you?
Okay, so you can find me in my Instagram, instagram.com/at Dr. Lisa Silvani. And if you would like, I also have this free micronutrient cheat sheet. It's that's so
What
most
is
people.
that?
Micronutrients is like zinc, vitamin A. So the cheat sheet contains how many milligrams you need, what happens if you have any deficiencies on them. So it's kind of like a simple, cheat sheet when you're starting to dieting, when you start on really thinking about your nutrition. It's going to be helpful along the way to recognize what kind of micronutrients am I deficient at. Like, because there's going to be some level of deficiency of micronutrients for many of
That's
people, actually.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So please, maybe later on after this, you can post the comment with you teach that free gift
Okay.
to our audience.
Oh, yes.
Then people can find that.
I can.
And also they can direct to contact you. Then some people also can find that on the comment area you post on there.
For sure.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Before we close this, is any something that you want to tell audience again, or any last word? What do you want to say? Maybe tell us the 3 words about self-love.
If I can tell self-love in 3 words.
Yes.
Okay. My choice is going to be forgiveness is key. That's all.
Beautiful. Forgiveness is key. Forgive others. Also remember to forgive yourself.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Thank you so much to come here to share this with us. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you have the story you want to share with the world, you know where to contact me. So I will see you next week, next Tuesday. Thank you, everyone.